Okay, here we are a week on, and what can I say about my Nexus 7? I think it's fantastic. One thing I would like to just add is I couldn't find a really easy way to describe the back, where I was explaining that the texture is slightly dimpled and it has a slightly rubberized feel. Well, I've got a better term for it now. It actually feels like really fine leather, calf skin in feel. So I've been holding it a lot, obviously watching movies and using it, and I actually think that's the best way of describing it now. It has a really high quality leather feel. It's a really good weight. And the one thing I've learned a lot using it is they've done a really good job with the Nexus 7 in regards to battery life. It really does last days if you're using it for average use. I'm certainly getting, I'd say, easily 9 hours battery use doing normal bits and bobs. Playing games, of course, it will go down a little bit. Playing movies, it will go down less than that. You may only get 7 hours out of it, but generally I'm getting easily 8-9 hours, and I've certainly had it over 9 hours, so I'm very happy with it. So what can I say about what's it been like using it? One thing I like is the feel they've really got right. So what I'm actually doing is just dragging an empty screen, so you can see this tilting angle that it does to just let you know you're at the end. So it's a feel as much as anything. So it's nothing particularly fancy I'm doing here, but I'm just letting you see that way that they've got themselves to the point where everything has a kind of, you can see it much clearer, the page of icons here on the apps icons. So it's rocking, and it's a really nice way of saying and giving sort of visual feedback to the user that you've come to the end now. So I've gotten used to the apps and the widget screens. They're quite different to the way Apple's done things, but I think the way Jelly Bean does this is very nice. You can see that the way they sort of rise up, so there is quite a nice kind of reveal going on. I think they've got a really nice kind of pop, 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 pop feeling. You've got apps and widgets, and there's also, it's disappeared at the moment, but you're going to see a little scroll bar just come along here as I slide back to the left, and you can see this blue bar here gradually going along, and there we have back to the main front icon screen that everyone's familiar with. A few little points that I particularly like. I like the fact you can actually choose where things are. You don't just get tied into so little silly things like if I wanted to move, and this is actually a little widget, I wanted to pop that particular icon there, or let's move it to just above this center area here, then you can do exactly that. You're not restricted to always doing a sort of upper leftmost, so you can position your icons and get to remember where things are on various screens. You can mix things up a bit, so I've got here both apps, I've got some games and get games installed here, as well as a shortcut to a map that will take me a route, a favourite route. So I've picked an icon to actually say it's a heart, to actually say I've actually got that route map to Stonehenge, as it happens to be in this example. One thing I really like is the fact that this microphone is always available. So I've already made a video where I just show how good the voice recognition is on this unit, but what I want to just quickly show you now is that it's useful in everything. So I'm going to open the store now. Let's just go to that as a previous search, but immediately available up here is my microphones. I'm going to press that. Space Invaders. So it's already found me some Space Invader games. I'm going to just quickly download a free one because I also want to show how good the store is, which I think is really fantastic. So of course you get information about it, screens, etc., that you can just have a nosy through. It will scroll if there's more than 2 screens. This particular game hasn't got 1-2 screens. Of course you get your reviews. At the bottom here I really like this. You often get this. You also often get users also viewed, but you actually get it also users also installed, and I think this is quite nice. And again, you can go right and scroll through other choices, so you get to choice and a feel for. So maybe you're looking for tower defense games, you find a good tower defense game, and you actually then could say, there's actually a better one, and that's the one that they're all buying. That's the really good one. So it's a really neat way of doing it, and I think the App Store here for the Google Play Nexus 7 is really smart. You install and uninstall from this page. So this is just a little yes, do I want to accept. It will quickly download, quick icon showing you installing. It's in, it's done. Now I can of course open it, or let me just go back to my home screen there. It's popped the new icon with my other games here. Again, I can just quickly move that somewhere if I wanted to. I didn't grab that very cleverly. Just move that somewhere if I wanted to. Of course I can run it, but what I'm going to quickly just go show is back to the stall. I can also open it from here or uninstall it from here, and if I go back to my screen I also have an immediate tag saying it's installed. So when I say install and uninstall, I really do mean that. So what I'm actually going to do is to delete this. So I'm just going to grab this icon and throw it onto the remove up here, and that's it gone, you think, but it's actually still in my App Store, still as an installed game, and still on my Google Play account. So I'm actually going to uninstall it fully, so the icon doesn't just go, all the software, all the install and the association of that app to my account through the Google Play is now gone. So of course I could install it again, etc. So that's just a simple example of where the search feature is useful in pretty much anything. I've actually done some reviews of some games that I've got on here, and I didn't bother typing anything. I spoke most of it. I had to correct a few words. Some of the games I was playing, there's just no way I could pronounce those words correctly, and there's no way that I could expect this recognition to pick it up. But I'm really finding all these things very fluid. I'm finding it very fast. I'm finding that the it's as good as I'd hoped. I've certainly had none of the sometimes you get with a new gadget, you get this kind of first 48 hours of just joy and wonderment when you're playing all the great stuff and you're looking at all the freebies, etc. Well, I've now had this over 10 days now, and I'll be honest, it's really, really fantastic, and I'm finding picking this up, using it for internet browsing, using it for gameplay. It's got an ideal size screen. I've got myself a few classic games which I might show you in another video. I want to just quickly show the multi-touch, so I'm going to just quickly, I'm not expecting to admit to being able to play the piano, but it's a very good multi-touch screen. So I'm going to just, excuse my really bad piano playing here. So there's 4 presses already, and if I'd done that better I'd have a 5th. If I can get my fingers sorted out. Okay, so from a multi-touch point of view, the screen is very able to do 5. I've heard rumors that it can do more, but whenever I do more than that on this piano app, it seems to goof on the key, so I think 5 is what it's expecting, probably because it's expecting a single hand player. One thing I'm going to notice, comment on, so obviously when you rotate or have an app like this that's rotated, you've got your home keys, etc. Moved around on the bottom side of the screen here, which of course narrows the height in this case, but the ultimate depth of the screen is slightly reduced, and it's certainly not perfect in that these aren't out of the way. So one thing I've been quite used to with my iPhone 4S is that when you're playing a game, etc., at the end of the day, you've got yourself a home button. Unless you actually press a physical button, you're not going to upset or interrupt the game. There's nothing on the screen that you can press that's going to suddenly jump you out of the app. Where on the Nexus 7, at any time you press the home button, you're going to go straight back to your home screen, etc. Now, you get used to it. You get used to not touching that area. Don't get me wrong, you certainly do get full screen use, so when you're playing full screen video, etc., it probably is full screen, and you'll tap it and then other options will come up. But in a lot of games, and most of the games I've got here are examples of that, and the piano app and other things I've been playing with, you'll often get the home screen buttons, etc., available to you, and the back button, etc., which is most of the time fine, but sometimes I found maybe the apps need to be better or more clever at making them disappear, or the Nexus 7 Jelly Bean needs to be a little bit more sensitive, or to give me options in the software to say use full screen and to hide these buttons unless I perhaps press or hold a button, or exit the app through the app's own menus. Also, I've got to like the fact that the speed of Jelly Bean, the way it's been very slick. I like the feel of some of the smaller, simpler apps that they've got installed. Obviously, the Maps works particularly well. Google's integrated all their Earth and YouTube. Of course, YouTube's also a Google system very well. They're better than standard apps. They're better than the YouTube app in particular is better than the YouTube apps available on the iPhone 4S. So this has become my favourite YouTube streamer. That's a portable device at the moment. So that's a nice side. In the bookstore, I'm going to just do, again, this is just the feel. You get a nice little tilt option, so I'm going to tilt it left and right. And it's just a cute little thing. I quite like the fact that they've animated the books. If you had pages and pages of books, it's going to look quite smart. The icons are very, very clear. You got one free book with the Google Play account when buying the Nexus 7 in the UK, and this time it was the Jeffrey Archer Only Time Will Tell. I explained about the movie previously. You also got the Transformers movie. I think it's a very clever thing that they've done by giving you £15 to spend in the Google App Store, because certainly it's made me browse for both apps and music and videos, and I think that's a very clever way of getting you in. And as I explained, I think they've done a very first good attempt at getting you into the games, books and movies. And I know I showed this to you at the beginning, but I'm going to do it once more. Lord of the Rings. Except I didn't press the microphone. That's on me pressing the wrong button. Do apologise. Lord of the Rings. That was my microphone voice you just heard there. Okay, so it's obviously got the books, apps and movies, so that's why it's such a good example. So you can, obviously you've got 100 results, 424 results, 110 results, and it's done a nice sort on what it thinks is most applicable. Not quite sure why Matrix Reload has come up there as one of the top ones when searching for the Lord of the Rings. Certainly the books are right, the apps look right. Possibly the Lord of the Rings movie is not available. Not sure. I need to go and dig into. But it's again showing you the voice microphone available in the App Store. Really well integrated, and pretty much anywhere. If you're typing anything or at any time you want to speak, it's always available. So it's up there top right. You haven't got to hold, pause, and hold a button, etc. As other smartphones, smart devices are doing so. And all in all, 10 days on, absolutely fantastic, worth every penny. And you know, it's the kind of thing that I think this is going to be the thing for Christmas 2012. I think this is going to do really good for Google, and I think that their Google Play Store, the way they've launched it, is actually surprisingly good. They've really learnt from other companies the way to do it and way not to do it, and I think they're going to do well. And I think the Android Jelly Bean, they've also got the look and feel absolutely right. The feedback, the feel and the flow of things really fast, and as I say, it's a very comfortable unit to hold, and can't get enough of the feel of this device. It's really comfy in the hand, and I think that the Nexus 7 is a fantastic size, and I gather from the rumours that Apple aren't going to be launching the iPad mini this year, so 2013 possibly, but I think 2012 Google have got it to themselves.